James, just give us your reflections on today's excellent performance and excellent result.
You just said it there, Greg. I think I also thought it was excellent. Very, very pleased for the team. There was a great energy in the ground today. There's real buzz about. I think with Sir Peter coming to the game, I think there was a buzz about the stadium in and around that, and I think we fed off it a little bit. We thrived off it. We started well. And I just don't think we ever really looked back in the game. I thought it was a brilliant first half performance and a brilliant second half performance, and it led to a really dominant game in the end.
What pleased you most about that performance today?
The professional focus involved to keep our foot on the neck of the opponent all of the time. And don't get me wrong, there was moments we didn't, but they didn't come to light because we were still good. And when you're good a lot of the time, you can make games look easier than the actual challenges. And I've got a big respect for what the challenge was today. It wasn't easy. Woking won the last 3 games on the bounce, scoring a lot of goals, and they're a tricky team to play against. I was highly aware of how they could hurt us. We worked really hard on attempting to stop that, and then trying to become in control and dominant after alleviating those threats. And I just thought the team, in so many aspects today, in so many moments, managed to execute that. And all credit to them, really, Greg. The work the team put in today to make the game appear easier than it was it doesn't go unnoticed from me. So yeah, very pleasing.
I know you mentioned the vibe around the ground today. How important was that early goal in terms of capitalising on the great start that we made?
It was important. It's difficult, Greg, isn't it? We've seen teams come here and sit in, and they're experienced teams that you get all 10 players together in a tight shape right in front of a goal. It's very, very difficult to break down. We're a National League team ourselves, aren't we? We're not Man City, so it's a challenge to break these teams down. I think it's a credit to the team that a lot of teams are doing that against us, but of course an early goal really alleviates some of the tension that the ground feels when that becomes the game. That tension wasn't there today because of that early goal. There's some frustration at times against Forest Green, who I don't think we can forget. I said it to you after the game. They're title favourites. They're spending barrels of money, and they came in, literally parked the bus, and we tried. We couldn't break them down. Today, we got the early goal. We built on it. The opponents had to come out a little bit more. They had to try and gain a foothold in the game. They left spaces for us, and I thought when they did, we were able to look quite devastating at times. And yeah, we achieved the 3-0 scoreline, which is good.
I know you spoke about Cairo a couple of times this season in terms of the work that he does off the ball, maybe goes unnoticed sometimes. I spoke to him, he obviously loves scoring goals as a striker. How pleased were you for him to get off the mark?
Very. It's always pleasing when your strikers score goals. I think they feed off them, and they can have 5 excellent games, strikers, and not have scored, and it feels like the world's caving into them, and sometimes to some of the people around it feels the same as well. But I never try to not place the importance on the work around everything else other than scoring goals as well, and providing that's going on, the commitment to the runs and everything else is still being made. I just believe the goals will come, and I was really happy for him today, that alleviates some of the stress in his mind, that he's off the mark. A couple of really good goals, really good finishes, and I thought he really pushed for a hat-trick as well today. To be fair, he had moments, knowing Cairo, he'll be looking back at them rather than patting himself in the back for a couple of nice finishes, which they were. But no, when your strikers score goals, it's always good for the team. If everyone else chips in with those goals, you get really dominant performances and sometimes healthy scorelines. And today we got a healthy scoreline, and our striker scored some goals, and we don't overlook the clean sheet element of the game as well. Pure control of a tricky opponent. So very good.
Just on that clean sheet record, so 2 goals conceded in 6 games. Just kind of give us your thoughts on the defensive shape and solidity at the moment.
I think there's defensive shape and there's defensive solidity. There's organisation and tactical elements that will help the team achieve clean sheets, achieve results, achieve points. But it's all nothing without culture, you know, of driving each other, demanding things from each other, committing to the hard yards when you're the most tired. And you asked me earlier on what I was most pleased about the performance. It's those aspects going into the latter minutes of the game when you do only have a 2-0 scoreline. You know, a goal going at your end at that stage creates tension. I'm really happy with the hard yards that are taking place and the demand from each other, which is built on the training ground and built for the culture that group of players, you know, have basically set as a parameter that they want to meet every single time. I think that's ultimately what, you know, arrives at a place where we're putting some clean sheets together. I think the tactics are, they're an aspect, but without their commitment and a desire to put the bodies on the line and run like you wouldn't believe for each other, Greg, you won't achieve them. You just won't, no matter what tactics you play. So all credit to the team again.
Just ask you for a quick injury update if possible. Obviously lost Ethan on Monday. What's the kind of latest on him?
Really devastating news, to be honest. It hasn't got any better since that game. I'm only just calming down from the fact that, you know, that the league done that to all the teams in the division. I think it was awful treatment of professional athletes, if I'm honest. But yeah, Ethan's news hasn't got overly better. He's got a really serious hamstring injury that requires surgery. So Ethan's going down to London early next week. You know, we found the best possible people we can to have the best possible service and rehab for the skipper who gives everything for Rochdale Football Club, absolutely everything. And I think he needs all of us now, support and to look after him the best way possible. And I think you know, he'll appreciate any support he gets, you know, from all of us and any fans in his rehab process, because he's a really important character in the changing room. And, you know, on the pitch we all know what he does for the team. And we're trying to move on from the disappointment of that and you know, focus on the positives of hopefully a brilliant rehab and get him back as early as we can, Greg, but it'll be a long one.
And we lost Harvey as well last Saturday to hamstring injury as well.
Yeah.
Is that better news on the horizon?
It is, yeah. Harvey, we hope, you know, will start to do some work on the grass next week, we hope. And, you know, if all goes really well, it'd be good if Harvey could, you know, join the team towards the latter end of next week. But yeah, he's got a few hurdles to jump until then. But yeah, obviously a much healthier condition or return time than Ethan.
Cool. And just finally, look, great day on the pitch clearly, but a great day off the pitch for the football club as well, having Sir Peter and the Ogden family here, and you could kind of feel the atmosphere before the game, seeing them, and then that continued into the game as I just spoke about. But great to do it in front of them as well. It
was nice, yeah. You know, it all came together, didn't it, today? The timing of that, and Sir Peter and the Ogden family coming up. I met Sir Peter for the first time before the game, which was nice. I've seen him referred to as a saviour this week, and they literally have been for us, haven't they? So it was nice that while they were all here today, we managed to, you know, have one of those days. It was one of those days, wasn't it, where everything felt good, everything looked good, and it all turned out great. There was a lot of happy fans, and that's a nice day. We want as many of them as possible, and we've always tried to make the Crown Royal a fortress, haven't we? And I think we're building very strongly on a run of results here that we're proud of. It was nice to have all of that go on as well today. I really do think it added to the environment and set us out the blocks fast, which is always big at home.